Buongiorno, it's Tabitha,
And Randy, hi.
and we are back. And this is something, what you're looking at right now is kind of a high level view looking down upon the ballroom. I think I mentioned in Facebook a couple days ago and even yesterday that Randy's been working on this 3D model, and I've been doing some furniture placement with him. Actually, it's fairly close to scale. And we want to share this with you and talk about the pieces that we've included. But before we get into that, I wanted Randy to talk with you all just for a few moments about the software that he's using and how the learning curve has been.
Well, there's an awful lot involved. I'm actually using a product called SketchUp. It's on the PC. I'm using my iPhone to transfer videos, and I'm using a Mac to do the video moving editing. So it really is kind of complex, and I'm having to learn very quickly how to use these products.
Yes, it really has been more complicated than we thought. I've been telling everybody on Facebook for the last 2 or 3 days that we had a video coming, and it's just taking us a little bit longer than we expected, but Randy's doing a really good job.
Well, it has been a challenge. I mean, some products are available in the virtual warehouse where you can actually insert them in the video, and some things aren't. Like this chair, the yellow chair, Tabitha has one in mind that's a little nicer.
Yeah, so I've been a little bit conflicted on furniture for the ballroom. I want to be true to the tradition of the home in terms of era and period, and really at the same time have a ballroom that's really unique and fun and a little bit whimsical, but yet coordinated. We've talked about this a little bit. I really want to do this whimsy theme, right? And yet at the same time, I want to make sure it's not, doesn't look Vegas tacky or Disneyland tacky. So this chair that you're looking at here right now, I found a lady online, and she makes these chairs. They're Italian Rococo. They're called balloon chairs or bubble chairs. And these chairs, we can pick any color that we want and any fabric that we want, and she'll custom make them for us. The reason I think these chairs will work so well, Randy, we've talked about this, is because they are these balloon chairs. And one of the things that we really had to think about in this ballroom was how many people can we seat in the ballroom at a given time? How many people can we have on the balconies around the ballroom at a given time? And I think we came up with 16 inside and then another 6 to 8 out on the balconies. And, with those numbers, it can get really loud, especially if you don't have rugs on the floor or something on the wall to absorb the noise. So
Tapestries.
tapestries, yeah. I mean, maybe we do that. We haven't really thought about that yet, but yeah, maybe we do that. But the balloon chair is really great because you can have a couple people sitting in that balloon chair. We had a few of them around the room. You'll see them in a few more minutes, and they can have a conversation in the physics. Is it the physics of the chair where you're sitting in it? You can hear each other, but nobody else can really hear you. So as audio travels, noise travels, it kind of gets trapped in this bubble. And so I'm thinking if we have these types of chairs, we can have, more people sitting in the room and not have it be so noisy that it's uncomfortable. I want folks to be able to grab a cup of espresso and go in there in the morning and sit down, and have a morning coffee and croissant with their partner and really enjoy themselves. So that's part and parcel of what we're going to go through today, kind of the theme of what this room's going to be, and then we'll really start getting into some other pieces that we've talked about and some pieces that we haven't. One of the things that we're really excited about is being able to have dancing happen in the ballroom. We've talked a few times about having a ballet school for the younger kids in the village. So Randy was able to actually find a ballet mirror and a dancer here. The dancer is actually an adult, kind of shrunken down, but it was the best pictorial of what we could find to put out here. We've really tried to scale this the best that we can, and I think we can probably get like 4 to 6 little kids on that bar. And as you can see, we put kind of a gilded frame around it so that it looks really pretty and the kids feel like they're dancing inside of a portrait. So we're really excited about that. We're probably going to push it back in just slightly and have a tapestry up above it that rolls up and drops down. So if we're having dance competitions or parties, we can tuck it away and nobody would even see that it is there. We also have these couches here. Now these couches are just for illustration only at this point. You know, with some period pieces that we found in Randy's software that were, you know, relatively decent to put in here. But what we're really thinking is that we want these 3 couches to be identical, you know, so that they're all really coordinated. And we may very well go back to the lady who makes the balloon chairs to put together these couches for us in custom colors. So in the spirit of having a true music room and a dancing ballroom, I found these Italian, I think they're late 18th century Rococo, black and gold gilt Rococo pedestals. And we have a violin I'm going to show you in just a moment that we're considering putting on top of here. The violin that you're going to see is made out of glass, and it's a Dino Rossi. The original Dino one, it's like $14,000. It really is a beautiful collective item. It's Murano glass, of course, and just gorgeous. And, you know, one of the things that we really have to think about in this wonderful palazzo that we're building out is theft, you know, and it's like, you don't want to think about that. You don't want to think that people are going to do that. But, you know, in fact, they do that, and we'll figure out what kind of insurance we can have in Italy. But at the same time, you know, we're trying to balance getting some really beautiful pieces of works. A lot of it we have at home already that we're bringing over.
Like the piano.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a minute. Yeah, we'll go to that in just a sec. But these really beautiful pieces, and what I found is there's a gentleman on the Isle of Murano who is doing replicas of Dino Rossi. So, you know, the Dino Rossi violin, I think $14,000, and we can get a replica for literally pennies on the dollar. It'll still really be beautiful. You can see it here. But we want to put that up in the corner of the room because we've got a piano in the other end of the room.
Can Colin play it?
It's a glass violin. There are no strings.
Oh, okay.
Can't play. No. But anyway, Randy just showed you a pedestal. We're kind of trying to figure out, do we go with this really Italian traditional Rococo pedestal with the violin on top, which is about 3 feet tall violin. It's not small, and then put a case over it, right, to keep it from getting broken or whatever. Or do we go with something modern? You know, maybe we just go with a modern black pillar with the violin on top. We haven't decided that yet, so we'll see where that goes. But yeah, you know, our son plays violin and piano. We're very proud of that. He's been playing for 10 years, and this room is kind of just for him. In many ways, the music part of it is really part of our family. Playing the instruments is really Colin's forte, and we're trying to marry a whole bunch of stuff together in this room that will seem beautiful and interesting to other people also, not just us. At the north end of the ballroom here, you can see some curtains that Randy was able to put in place here. Now, I'm not a horrible seamstress, so I'll probably will be doing most of the drapes and even possibly the bedding. Here's an example of some drapes that Randy found online, and these are actually a pretty decent example because they have French doors behind them, which we'll have in most of our balconies. So this is a design that I've actually done before, and I think I'll replicate that in the palace, add some gold tassels maybe, or some reversible gold fabric or something like that. Maybe we don't do red, maybe we do some kind of, you know, beautiful navy blue or something, but that's something we should discuss as a team and decide. The piano here in the corner of the ballroom is really special to us. It's a picture of, you'll see in a moment, of our Petrov, which is a Czech piano, grand piano that we have in our house here. And we're going to bring this over with us to Italy and put it there. It's a really special piece. There's a story behind it. Maybe Randy can chime in here a little bit too. But we found this piano at a piano sale in Sacramento. Mm-hmm. And it was in a big warehouse, or a bunch of pianos in there, and it was like something out of, you know, godsend, I don't know, but it was like the only piano in the sun under a skylight with literally rays of heaven rays coming down, shining right on top of the piano. It was really breathtaking, wasn't it? So we decided to get this piano. And actually, we didn't. We went home and we were thinking about it. And then Randy got, he's like, I don't want to spend that much money on a piano. And I'm like, oh my gosh, but it's so beautiful. And he would say, well, you don't even play piano.
I mean, it's probably our biggest purchase since our wedding, other than the wedding
A
ring.
vehicle, maybe. Yeah. So anyway, it actually used to be the dean of music from Sacramento State University here in California. But Randy and I don't fight very much, but this was a humdinger. Oh my gosh. He basically told me no, and I didn't like hearing no. So we actually got the piano and then went immediately into, oh my gosh, should we have bought this? We had buyer's remorse, as everybody has with big purchases.
Did we get a good enough deal?
Did we get a good enough deal? Is it a good piano? I mean, did we jump too fast? All of those things. So we went to San Francisco and we decided to look at the San Francisco piano stores.
Steinway,
yeah, Yamaha. Suzuki, all of those. And we went up to the piano sales lady and we asked if there's a Petroff, and she kind of gave us a funny look, and then she showed us where the Petroff was, and we kind of looked at it, and then I think, Randy, you said we just bought a Petroff. And what was her reaction?
She said, how obscure.
Oh, how obscure. So, of course, we're feeling like, oh my gosh, maybe we didn't do the right thing. So we went home and did a little bit of research on the piano. It was the very first year that the Czechs could actually export, right? It was one of only 100 made. They only make 100 of these each year by hand. And there were only 10% that they were allowed to export. So of 10% of 100, there were 10 of this particular piano. First year the Czechs could release exports. And we got one of those 10. And they were sent all over the world.
Now,
so,
mind you, in this place that we bought it
Yeah.
was a big warehouse, actually a hangar, I think, at an airport. But had really great acoustics.
Yeah,
and we went around and played a
it,
bunch of
yeah.
different pianos. And this one, by far, had the
Unbelievable.
most amazing tone and sound. To this day, we don't know of any piano that we've ever heard since that is as nice as the one we bought. So
Yeah.
we've been very happy with the purchase.
Yeah,
But-
you know what we should do? We should call and play it for them
Yeah.
and put a video out
Yeah.
so that people can
Because
hear it.
he's a phenomenal player. He's been playing since what?
7,
Yeah.
7 years old, and he's a teenager right now. He's 18, and he's kind of like, I don't want to play piano anymore. I don't want to play violin anymore. But he's so good. I mean, he's been playing for 7, 8, 9, 10 years, long time, and he's good.
Well, Tabitha, you're good too.
I wouldn't say that I'm good. You're going to say this and everyone's going to want to listen to me in Santa Dominica and they'll be disappointed. But yeah, we made an agreement, right? When we bought this, because
Yep.
Randy's comment was, you don't even play piano. So what was the agreement?
So she had to learn to play the piano by Christmas.
Yeah, and we got it in June.
And she ended up playing Carol of the Bells and some other Christmas carols that were really hard, and was amazing when she did it. Everybody was blown away.
Yeah, we were at a party. We had a bunch of people at our house. Yeah. That was a long time ago. But yeah, that was the agreement that we made, and I did it. I actually taught
Yay.
myself how to play the piano. Now today I'm not great, but anyway, just one more thing that I want to say about this piano. We've had this piano since right after we got married, and we've been dragging it around with us everywhere. And it's a pain. We have to find piano movers every time that we move. But anyway, we're going to be bringing it back to Italy with us, and I hope you all get to enjoy it as we listen to Call and Play one of these days.
Yeah, hopefully it won't fall off a container ship into the ocean.
Oh gosh, no. In the background, we've been listening to Call and Play, huh, Randy? I don't know. I hope
Beautiful.
I hope that you guys could hear it on the video. We bribed him, and we got him to play for us. He's playing a piece of Downton Abbey there. It's really quite beautiful. He hasn't played in a year. He hasn't practiced, and still sounds pretty good. It was a little bit slowed down, but he's still got that muscle memory, and it really is beautiful to listen to. I'm just going to let him finish up here for a few seconds. The fireplace is also a really big deal to us. We really want to make sure that we get something that is beautiful. What you're looking at here is just an idea. It was one of the pieces that you could find on the software, right, Randy?
Yeah.
So I'm thinking maybe a little gilting, but in terms of the dimensions, the fireplace is going to be at least 300 centimeters wide, and the height we don't know yet. So we're hoping that Antonella is going to help us find a fireplace. He said that he knows where there's some really good ones, and I guess Salvatore has a hidden stash of really old fireplaces. So as you look here to the sides of the fireplaces, you can see some statues. The statues that we'll actually have will be rabbits. Do you guys remember, Randy, do you remember cats or rabbits at the very beginning when we started talking to everybody about, should we have cats or rabbits? And gosh, it was a conversation that was really fun with everybody, and I absolutely couldn't make up our mind at the end of the dialogue with everybody. So we ended up getting both. Well, actually, we got the rabbits first. So these are the rabbits. They're about 137 centimeters tall, including the pedestal that they're sitting on. So we're going to have these rabbits actually on each side of the grand fireplace, Grande Camino fireplace in the ballroom. And we're going to find a local artist to really dress up these guys. We're going to have them hand painted, and then we'll make some Venetian masks and have them masked, cover, some tied behind their ears, Venetian masks, and they will be the mascots of that particular ballroom. Here's another picture of the ballerina. As you can see, we're pretty excited about ballet school for the kids. And I really would like to get this image, Randy, to Ida Pizzotti. Ida is the oldest daughter of the living Pizzotti siblings. And when we purchased the home from her and her brother and sister, we promised to keep it traditional to the period and the era. And we did share with Ida that we were going to open a ballet school for the young kids in the village. And it was really touching. I mean, I almost get choked up when I think about it. But she started to cry, Ida did, and proceeded to tell Chris, our translator, that was her dream as a child, to do that with the ballroom. So
yeah, it was really a touching moment.
It really was a touching moment, and it's just a brilliant moment, because I really hope that she and her sister and brother will be able to come and see it when we have it a little bit more finished. This is going to be a little bit of a spoiler alert for some of the folks who have seen some of our ideas on Pinterest. So, as we go up here above the fireplace, Grande Camino, you're probably wondering, what the hell is that thing that they have over the top of the mantle? And it is, in fact, a deer. This is actually a Mackenzie Childs deer. I showed this deer to Randy. I actually expected him not to like it, but he actually loved it. Which was a bit of a surprise to me. So we ended up getting this deer. This is pretty big. This is a 36-inch deer head, right? 36.
Life size.
It's big, yeah. It's going to go over the mantle. We like the whimsy of it, and I think there's a reason Randy was really sparked by this.
Well, I mean, like our son Colin hates it, and that's perfect because it reminds me of a place we stayed in Paris, where they had decorated with a deer, a female doe. I don't know if it
didn't
had
have antlers, no.
Doe, and it had a hat and old granny glasses and a tie and a collar, and it looked so silly. And we hated it, but we loved it at the same time. And this is sort of the same thing, where it's just a really wacky thing. You kind of scratch your head and say, what is that?
Yeah, it's the whimsical that we're looking for, right? It's the whimsy that we're looking for. And actually, it makes a little bit more sense than actually the Parisian one did. It's a little more classy, actually.
Well, and I did some research. They do have, hunting of deer in Italy.
Yeah,
it goes way, way back.
It does go way, way back. When we looked at the deer, now there's honest conversation here, I told Randy we should put a wild boar up above the fireplace, because Southern Italian people, that's what they eat. They eat porchetta, the wild boar.
That's what I said. No way am I having that.
Yeah, he actually put a picture of a boar up. It was pretty scary looking. It might terrify all the children.
But the reality is that they have old hunting imagery in a lot of the tile back in the old days.
Yeah, and I've seen that.
Yeah,
and,
so it's not like unthought of here.
Yeah, and I would say even in the forest, our view that we have over the Polino forest, I bet local villagers years ago, maybe even now, still go hunting in that forest for deer. So anyway, we got the deer and we ordered it a week ago. As soon as it comes in the mail, we'll definitely show you. You want to talk about these too? I mean, I showed Randy this pattern. He's like, "Oh, well, let's get this and let's get that." So why don't you tell?
So we got some butterflies, and it's fun. They're going to go on the other side of the deer, and then you can see how the room's kind of coming together and the chandelier up above. And Tabitha's going to tell you a little bit about that. It's just one of the most amazing pieces.
Yeah, this is really kind of started, huh, Randy? So this is the chandelier we've shared with you in the past. It really was our first point of inspiration, and we want to pull from it the style and the tradition and pull those crystal colors out and really put those into the furnishings of the palace. And, to put into context, this particular chandelier is an antique. It is Murano glass, and Randy and Colin and I went last summer. We went to visit the Isle of Murano, and we looked at a lot of the pieces that were there. And we went into this one really kind of high-end Murano glass shop. Really,
it was a secret.
Yeah, really, really ritzy, and we're like, how? We don't know how they knew, but they ended up pulling us aside. They must have known. Oh, those people are opening a hotel. But anyway, they pulled us aside, and we got a private tour of the glasswares, and they're just really breathtaking. And we saw a couple of chandeliers that we really just fell in love with. How much were they, Randy? Like 80?
Yeah.
$80,000
euros.
Yeah. 80,000 euros. And we thought, God, there's just no way. So after we found the palace and we got home, I started looking for Murano glass chandeliers and antique ones, and we found this chandelier, and this chandelier is huge, right? It's in our garage.
4 feet by 4 feet by 5 feet.
Yeah, so centimeters. I don't know how big that is, but it's bigger than our refrigerator, right? We've got a big refrigerator. It's huge. It's taking up a whole carport in our garage. But anyway, we love it. I'm not sure if you can see all of the beadwork on here. This is all handmade. It's antique chandelier. It is authentic Murano glass. And no, we did not pay $80,000 for it. We got it for a song. And we really think it is going to be absolutely stunning when we put it right smack dab in the middle of the ballroom. So now we're going to pan around the north end of the ballroom. I think we've talked about all of this stuff. We haven't talked about the balconies yet, Randy, but I think what we should do is all the balconies that you're putting in, when we've got all of those sketched out, we can go around the perimeter outside of the palace and let people see that. So here we are back to the dancer, and we really wanted to put this in for you guys to see. These are kind of silly little brass dancers down there, but those are the dancers. These are 1920s dancers that we got from an antique store for hardly anything. And I think we showed you a picture of those. This is what they look like here, and those will be nestled kind of under the piano a little bit, kind of the side of the piano. But we think that they're in really beautiful shape, and they are brass, and we think they'll be a nice addition to the ballroom. We've really covered a lot. Hopefully you guys were somewhat entertained by this, but more importantly, we hope that you're starting to see what's inside of our mind's eye, right? The type of look that we're trying to pull together, the ideas that we've had, the ideas that you've all had and shared with us, decisions that we've made together. And one of the things that you might be thinking is, gosh, they're sending all this stuff from America that's in their home over to Italy. And yeah, we are doing that because we're going to Airbnb our home here in America, in California, when we're in Italy. And we do have a lot of art, and it's not going to be safe here, in California if we're doing an Airbnb. So a lot of the art that we've shown you is art that we're bringing with us to Italy, because we're going to have people helping us in the palace. We'll have a small staff, and I think things will be safer in Italy. So we want to thank you once again.
Yeah, thanks for watching. It's really a way for us to kind of keep track of what we want to do, and we're going to keep building on one element after the other.
Yeah. So, gosh, this video is almost 30 minutes. I think it's going to be by the time we're finished, and we want to take it slowly, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to really take our time planning, working with you, the community, and all of your ideas, and just start building out room by room, just in terms of floor plan and the type of furniture and the size of the furniture. So what we'll do next, you wanted to do the dining room. Or
Yeah.
the entry. Which one? The dining room?
Either one. And the other really cool thing about doing these YouTube videos is they automatically get translated to Italian for people like Antonello, who would be very interested in hearing our ideas. So hopefully he'll get to watch these and gain some insights that way.
Okay. And the the thing about getting another video out, we're really sorry. This has taken us 5 days, right, since we started working on it.
It's a lot of work.
And we're learning. Hopefully this is getting easier to watch, and our editing is getting better. And just please understand, it does take time. We understand, Pete, now how long it takes you to do all the editing for all of Chris's videos. But anyway, we hope you enjoyed it, and we'll be coming back. I think I'm going to do a cooking show, right, in the next day or two.
Oh boy.
We're going to make espresso panna cotta. And then we'll get started on the dining room. Dining room's probably going to take us another 5 to 7 days to pull together. In the meantime, we'll get a cooking show out. Right, Randy?
Sounds great.
Okay. Thanks, everyone. Ciao, ciao.
Bye.